Thank you. Now I recognize myself for 5 minutes of questionings. Republicans aren't the only ones that have concerns about taxpayer money being misspent. In fact, I want to read, I'll hold up the quote, but I want to read a quote from the Inspector General of the EPA dated March 29, 2023. It says, under the present circumstances, all of this would happen with no additional guidance from Congress and little oversight from the OIG. The rapid implementation of the program, combined with a relatively narrow window of availability for such a significant amount of funding, may lead the EPA to expend the funds without fully establishing the internal controls that mitigate the risk of fraud, waste, and abuse. Representative Griffith spoke about the misuse of taxpayer dollars regarding Solyndra. Last year, in an Energy and Commerce Committee hearing with the Department of Energy Inspector General, there was an Inspector General report that said that DOE Science was unable to verify that $50+ million in expenditures were audited. So what I'm saying is there's a history of government offices not being accountable with taxpayer dollars. On December 21st of last year, the House Science and Technology Committee sent a letter to the EPA asking questions surrounding their concerns about conflicts of interest with nonprofits being chosen by the EPA for this program. Why hasn't the EPA answered their questions?
Congresswoman, let me check on the status of that letter, and we'll get back to you, and we will make sure that if it hasn't been responded to, it will be responded to quickly.
Thank you. I checked with the committee. They have not been responded to. My next question deals with more measuring of this program. Are there any specific milestone grantees will have to meet during the performance period?
Yes, Congresswoman. Each grantee is applying with a rigorous investment plan, proposed project pipeline, and timeline for a wide array of necessary activities covering their investment work, their governance, their organizational structure. All of that will be enshrined in our terms and conditions of the grant agreement. And so they are committing to EPA as part of their grant agreement that they will execute on that plan, and our job is to then hold them accountable to it.
If the EPA determines that a grantee is performing poorly and making bad investments, but hasn't violated any of the terms of their agreement with the EPA, is there anything the EPA can do to step in and try to help them improve their performance, or any tools at the EPA's disposal?
Thank you, Congresswoman. These will be cooperative agreements where we'll be working in close collaboration with our grantees to make sure that at every step of the process, we're pulling in all the expertise from across the federal government to support them. We're giving them these grants, and then we're going to support them to execute effectively. If a grantee falls short in their legal obligations, though, I do want to stress that we have multiple tools under CFR 200 to ensure compliance. And those are authorities that we've used across our many thousands of grant awards where necessary to make sure that we are holding folks to the highest standards, and we would not hesitate to use them here if that became necessary.
Well, I hope that you do the work that you say you're going to do, because there has been a history of misuse of taxpayer dollars and things not being audited in Department of Energy and EPA and in other agencies. So I hope that you will be very diligent in the billions of dollars that you are going to have going through your agency. And with that, I yield back.